Good morning, Raptor freaks. Alexiats here. It's Friday morning. The Raptors are in Orlando. They're going to be playing the Orlando Magic tonight at 7 o'clock. And also, the Raptors 905 are in Maine to play the Maine Celtics at 7 o'clock. So, double duty tonight, 2 games at the same time. So, watching 2 screens. But yeah, so Justin Champagny, Jeff Doughton Jr., and Ron Harper Jr. are in Maine. And the rest of the guys are down in Orlando. So Champagny with Doughton and Harper are over there in Maine. They're not down south for the Orlando game. Now, this is an important game tonight. It's a slouch team. We need to take care of business. They're the same team we saw pretty much last Saturday. No real changes on their injury report. I can go over it real quick for you. Gary Harris is still out. He's already ruled out for tonight. It's his hamstring. Chuma Okeke is also out with his knee. He's been ruled out tonight. Jalen Suggs is ruled out for tonight. It's his ankle. Jonathan Isaac is returning through the G League, but he's not ready to come back to the main roster Magic yet. But this is interesting. Isaac's been out for a few years, and he's finally coming back. It's very similar to the Ty Warren thing the other day with the Nets, a guy who's been away for like a year or two, and they're just starting to come back now. But he's been assigned to Lakeland Magic, and he'll be playing with them. And then Wendell Carter Jr., their center, is out. It's his foot. So it's pretty much the same kind of injuries that they had last Saturday when we faced them already. Their team is basically like the Wagner brothers, Paolo Banchero, Bol, Cole Anthony, Markel Fultz, Terrence Ross, Mo Bamba. Now, that's the one difference that may be different than what we saw on Saturday is that Mo Bamba may be playing, and he didn't play in the last time we played. And RJ Hampton, Caleb Houston. That's basically their lineup. Pretty much the same lineup as what we saw last Saturday here in Toronto. We'll see tonight, except I think Mo Bamba will be playing. That's the only addition. On our side of the ball, it's the same stuff. Precious, I'll just tell it explicitly so you guys know the most current stuff. Precious will remain out for another 1 or 2 weeks before the Raptors have a clear timeline for his return. That is from Josh Lewenberg. Hernan Gomez, he's going to miss another 7 to 10 days with his ankle. That's current. And Otto Porter Jr., he will not play tonight also. He's already ruled out. So we don't have Otto, Precious, and Juancho, just like what's been going on. But there's a little bit more of a timetable, about a week or so for Juancho. And then for Precious, it's looking like a week or 2. So we'll have to see. And that's him being reassessed again. All right, let me check in on the comments with you guys and see what you guys are saying. What's the chatter this morning? What does matter to the Raptor freaks this morning? Let's see what y'all are saying. Tom Duke is here first. Let's see first. Good morning. Let's get that W, Raptors. Happy Friday, freak family. Yes, Tom, your alliteration is strong today. Your emoticons are probably strong also, but your alliteration very strong today. Happy Friday, freak family. Yes, TGIF, baby. This is a day that we rue to an extent as Raptor fans because we have not won on a Friday this season yet. We need to change that tonight. Get a dub, a big W on a Friday night against the Orlando Magic in Orlando. That'd be very good, Raptors. We'd like to see that. So please get it done. Bishop's here. Good morning, freaks. Always good to see Bishop giving us morning greetings. And good to see you, Bishop. Mike's here, Logical Raptors fanatic. Salute real ones, Project Truth always. Yes. And I appreciate Nameless and Logical Raptors fanatic, Mo. Everybody who's in the Raptors Today and Raptors Tonight chats dropping my name out there. I've gone back and watched stuff from this week, and I see you guys putting me out there, and I really appreciate it. Very much big respect and love to you, Mike, and Logical Raptors fanatic channel. So thank you. And I'll do the same for you. I'll put you on blast in different places too, my friend. Isaac Campbell saying happy Friday. Yes, Isaac Campbell, happy Friday to you. And thank you for being the benevolent Isaac Campbell. We appreciate you. Jimmy Pope is here. Good morning. Let's handle business, baby. Let's handle some business. Crack those knuckles and get ready to get in the ring with Orlando Magic. Yeah, I'm with you, Jimmy Pope. Let's get down to business. We got some business to take care of tonight. I hope we're coming down to Orlando with our workman-like mentality. This is a business trip. This may be a weekend in Florida to some, but no, dog. This is a business trip. You got to come down there and take care of business. And business means 2 W's in Orlando this weekend. Anything less would be a little disappointing. I'm not going to lie. They could lose one of these games and we say, oh, well, it's hard to win a 2-game series against a team, both games. Fuck that. Let's just win both of them. We need to do this weekend. So I hope that they really are coming down there with a very business trip like mentality coming down there. Because I know on Instagram last night, we saw Delano and Scottie posting their hotel and being very happy to be in Orlando in Florida. But yeah, listen, y'all be careful down there and be smart. I know that y'all get Saturday off. And I don't know, maybe go to Disney World. That may be okay. Just do something wholesome and smart and not going to interfere with how well you play this weekend is what I'll say. So, all right, Monique is here. Good to see Monique. Good morning, everyone, and happy game day. Let the streak continue, of course. Yeah, well, I want to start a streak. One game isn't a streak, and beating the Lakers is a good start to a streak. But we got to win tonight, and then it'll be a 2-game streak. And then we win on Sunday. That's a 3-game streak. And then let's see what we can do. Maybe we can do something to Sacramento next Wednesday, and that's a 4-game streak. So that's how you build a streak. You got to string some wins together, and hopefully they can get their second win in a row tonight with the Magic. Once again, Callie Mayer's here. Good morning, Callie. Again, QW needs to take control early. I don't know what's going on outside my door. Just like again, QW needs to take control early. We need these wins. You're saying Fred, right? You said QW. I'm wondering who QW is. You probably mean Fred VanVleet. So I think that we just need to take care of things and right away and just be capable and be the aggressive team and put the other team on their heels and just do the things that make them have to adjust to us and not the reverse. That as long as we're the aggressor and that they have to worry about us more than we have to worry about them, that's always better. Now, I worry about people like Cole Anthony, Franz Wagner. There's certain weapons on that team that can get going in certain ways. Well, I should say Paulo, of course. So hopefully we can come out, hit them first, get a lead, and win wire to wire like we did against the Lakers. Get a lead right away and carry that lead all 48 minutes. I would love to see that. And I know it would be helpful to Callie's stress meter if we got a comfortable lead and it looks like we're doing pretty good, cruising to a win with a good layer of maple syrup lead in there. Starscream's here. Okay, we got Brooklyn Nets fan is back to check in on us. Let's see what he's saying. Hello, sir. My Nets are the most fraudulent 4 seed in NBA history. Laugh out loud. Hopefully you have a good weekend. Well, what are they doing? I mean, I don't pay so close attention to you guys like I do with the Raptors, obviously. So I don't pay total attention to your ebbs and flows as far as winning and losing. Let me look at what's happening with the Nets right now since he's worried. Listen, you guys have won. Holy crap, you have won 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You guys have won 6 out of your last 8. I can't see how you could be too upset right now. Honestly, Starscream, I'm going to tell you this. You guys are this is the weird thing. This year is finally the year that I feel like the Lakers and the Nets are figuring it out. That they've been dumpster fires for like 2 or 3 years now and not really getting anywhere and having a lot of problems. But this year, I think you guys are kind of figuring things out. Whether it's like Ben Simmons, getting healthier and maybe being able to help instead of like the James Harden thing, whether it's Kyrie cleaning up a lot of his bullshit, it's Kevin. It's like, okay, I kind of believe in this team again because Steve Nash is not the coach anymore. So I don't know, man. I would be optimistic if I was Nets freak right now because things are looking up and you guys may have a totally different kind of postseason coming up this year. I don't know if y'all will be like the 4th seed though. Where are you guys in the standings right now? Let me look. It may be that I think that you might be similar to where you were last year as far as like right around. Okay, you're in the 4th seed right now. Yeah, that's so clumped up though. If you're going to stay up there, we'll see because we're a half game behind you and so are the Hawks and so are the Pacers. And then the Sixers are just a game behind too. They're so clustered up. There's only 2 games between 4 and 10, with Miami 2 games behind you guys. So it's very clustered up. But we'll see. I don't know. I wouldn't call you guys fraudulent right now. I very much respect y'all after beating us 3 times this year. And I really want to get at least one of the games against y'all. And that is the last chances next Friday, a week from tonight. So we'll have to see. G saying winning streak. I love it. Do it. Let's go, Raptors. Winning streak. It's very simple. G saying it right there. Win streak. Get those W's in Orlando this weekend. Savage is here. All right, let's see what Savage is saying. Good morning. Waiting on Bo Cruz's return. The 5th best Raptor on the team. Maybe the most fundamentally sound Raptor since Gasol. No kidding. Well, all right. He's making compliments in some ways. I don't know. I guess I'll take it, Savage. Yeah, Bo Cruz is cool. Juancho Hernan Gomez. Yeah, hey, I like him playing. I think he's been good for us so far, but it's really just scratching the surface with him. And I think there's stuff that's going to be very interesting about him by the end of the year for sure. Now, I don't know about his ranking on the team as far as the 5th best Raptor. I bet you I could name like maybe 7 guys that I would want on the team that are more important than him, at least. So, but thank you for the mild comment, and not your normal. Savage, he is a good fundamentally and makes great cuts to the basket at the right time. That's right. G is agreeing with you. So that's a good sign. Cool Cat saying, good morning, Raptor Free Crew. I tuned in late, so I've decided to rewind to the beginning, so I will be behind. I hope we will win. We win both games in Orlando to improve our ranking. All right, Cool Cat, no problem at all. I don't know how you do that. I always thought if you tuned in, you're just going to see me live. But you can actually start from the beginning and not be live. That's very interesting. Monique saying, good positive on Juancho. See, Monique is encouraging you, Savage, to continue to be positive and say positive things. Callie saying, I meant we need to control. It's typo. Okay, it's not Fred VanVleet. Yeah, okay. I think I realize that that's the word we. Okay, again, we need to take control early. Okay. Thanks for clearing it up, Callie. And yeah, I totally agree with this. This is something that is so important to the team. Last year, we had so many games where we lost the first quarter and we always had deficits to make up. Well, if the new trend is to come in and not let this happen anymore, to make things easier for themselves, I'm all for it. Keep going. Oh my gosh. Starscream saying Magic came back from down 20 against the Clippers. You can't take them lightly. No, I know, Starscream. I saw that. But also on the same token, I'm going to tell you why the Clippers lost that game and the Magic won. You know why? It's because Kawhi and Paul George are coming back. And these dudes only played like the first 3 quarters of the game. And then they kind of like took off the last part of the game, and the Magic surged up and stole the game from them. It really is kind of, it smacks of like, okay, Kawhi comes out there and he only scores like 12, 13 points, 14 points, something like that. And he does really good in the beginning, but then he disappears by the end of the game, and the Magic kind of surge up and take that win. So it's a weird kind of game. We just got to not let them have anything good all game. But it really was the Clippers just decided to stop like playing their best players, or they didn't even play like that well or something, because it really separates at the end of the game. The Clippers were winning. They were doing great. And then, I don't know if it's conditioning. I don't know if it's just Leonard's not back fully like right yet, but that they really ran out of gas by the end of the game, and the Magic overtook them by the end. Now, we can't allow that to happen. So I look at those games and see like, okay, this is the first game the Magic won in a long time. And in some ways, this is good because they've ended their losing streak, and there's not as much pressure on them. They've ended it in between us playing them. So it's like they just won. So they're on good feelings. Well, let's put them back in the losing column for a couple games real quick this weekend. So I like that the pressure's relieved from the losing streak, that they're not trying maybe as hard as they were earlier this week, because they finally got that sweet relief of one win. So I like that. And then I really looked at how they beat the Clippers. And it really is that they stopped giving a good effort at a certain point in the game late. And the Magic did not. They continued to have a good effort throughout the game. So we'll have to see. But I am thinking about this. This is a very important key to the victory tonight is full 48, no droughts, no times where we're having a really hard time offensively, and no defensive laps for sure. You cannot play bad on defense for any period of time and let Orlando get going. We did a really good job on Saturday of not letting a lot of the Orlando players get going in a lot of different ways. I mean, Bol did some stuff. Terrence Ross was perfect from the field. I can live with that, but I don't want Cole Anthony going off. I don't want Franz Wagner going off. So, that's a pretty good success, what we did on Saturday here in Toronto against Orlando. And it's really great that we've already beaten them and handled them pretty good recently. So we have stuff to look at. But then again, they have stuff to look at also. But I feel real good about tonight. We need to just take care of business. This is a slouch opponent. These are wins that we need to add to the win column to help our record. And also our road record, where our road record is not that good this year. We can improve it this weekend with 2 more wins on the road. That would be very helpful also. So there's a couple of things we can try and do today. Let's beat a team on Friday because we haven't won on a Friday yet this season. Let's win a 2-game series, both games in a row. And let's get more wins on our road record so that we have a better road record, because it's really bad right now. Oh my gosh, it's bad. Bad. Monique is saying, okay, yeah, I read that. Let's see. G saying, I really can't wait to see Otto and Juancho consistently. Yeah. Well, I want to know whether these guys, because they're veteran, they're kind of more capable, if they're allowed to be in the minutes party at the top of the roster, and then we can have 10-man roster that's rotating, instead of just like 8 guys or 7 guys that Nick plays so much. If Juancho and Otto are healthy and precious, they get added to this 8 that he described a couple days ago. I hope so, because I'd like to have a deeper bench. I'd like to have a deeper rotation that Nick Nurse can depend on guys to be a good quality of play, that he's like, okay, I can play all these guys. And it seems like Otto Porter should be one of these kind of players for sure, with his pedigree and his career. It seems like Juancho is trusted to a degree by Nick Nurse already. And of course, Precious is in this rotation. I mean, there's no ifs, ands, or doubt that, Precious is one of our rotation guys, and he should be playing minutes every game. So we'll have to see. Mike saying, I wonder if he's ever manned up and said sorry for misinforming people with Parrot something and not looking at himself and realizing he unfollowed his mom too. So the bull about wife issues is F. Are you talking about Savage right now? All right, remember, Mike, you got to start with the subject of who you're talking about, because I'm confused. You're either talking about Fred or you're talking about Savage, and it doesn't make any sense if you're talking about Fred. So I'm going to guess that you're talking about Savage. This takes me too long to figure out. You really got to treat me like a baby. You got to write it all out and make it so simple for me. There's no doubt what you're talking about. Because if I have to spend time figuring out your statement like a puzzle, then it's not a good statement, because I can't figure out who he's saying. So I'm going to guess you're saying Savage. You want to see if he's manned up and said sorry for misinforming us the other day? I don't know. Savage, do you want to apologize for the TMZ reporting the other day? And now that we know the truth, he doesn't have to. I mean, it is like, it was valid what he was saying, and it could have been true actually, but we investigated and we found out the truth. And it's so much better that it's all good. Yeah, he unfollowed his mom. He unfollowed his fiance. He unfollowed all his teammates. And it really was because his social media was acting weird. And he wanted to change how it was acting. So somebody told him, go unfollow everybody, and that'll change things. So he did it, and he didn't realize the repercussions of doing that. So I don't know. If Savage wants to apologize, he can. But Mike, go ahead. Say his name. Don't just write it out like that. Naco the Nacho's here. Awesome. Yeah, good luck today for the game, Naco the Nacho. And I see that you made some adjustments on the Yahoo Fantasy League. That's right. Naco is in the Fantasy League, guys. And I was giving him some tips when he came over to watch the game with me the other night. And maybe he'll be a little bit more participatory as the season goes on. And he may be trying to get that Vince Carter jersey. All right, let's see what Naco's saying. I would like to say I was right about the Pacers being good. 5th best, in my opinion, is probably Gary. There's an argument for Precious or Otto, who I'd argue is most sound. All right, you guys really want to do this? I'll rank my Raptors right now. Pascal, obviously. Pascal, OG. Scottie. Fred. Precious. Precious. Gary. Chris Boucher. Coloco. Delano. Why not Delano? I know that goes against what he's doing with his rotation, but I do think Delano and Coloco are more talented and better than Thad Young and Otto and Wancho. Those guys are kind of similar, and then with Ken Birch too. Those four, but I think that Delano and Coloco are actually more talented in the long run, and for what they're going to do. So, all right, that's cool. And yeah, I don't know. I don't agree with you about the Pacers, though, Nako. I think that they're going to come down to earth. Rick Carlisle is a really, really good coach, and he gets a lot of mileage out of them, like in some ways, but they're inexperienced and just who they are. They've done really good. It's like a honeymoon period. They're doing really good right now. They're going to hit adversity at some point this season, and their record's they're gonna bottom out a little bit. They're gonna be a play-in team at the best. I don't think they'll be a full playoff team, but I do think they'll make the play-in, especially if they play strong for the first half of the season. But the second half of the season, I don't think they're gonna be very good. You might be surprised at what happens with them later down the road, because they may get very much figured out. I don't think that everybody's figured out Halliburton on that team yet. And that's the difference, is once people start figuring out the Pacers and what Carlisle's doing there, it may be harder for them to be successful, because they're kind of a new flavor of team in the league right now. And they're like Sacramento is. A lot of teams haven't seen them in their new look at this point, and that's partly why they're having success. They're surprising people. But once they play them and they kind of understand what they're trying to do, boom, then you have a game plan for them, and it's harder for them to do it. So we'll see. You might be right, and we'll see. At the end of the year, if you're right, I will admit it, and I'll say Knock on the Nacho was right about the Indiana Pacers. They're actually real good, and they're still up there, and I'm surprised. Duke Rocks is saying Magic look like they are figuring out some things. The talent is there, and this guy, Mo Wagner, has come out of nowhere. That was a crazy comeback win against the Clippers, Starscream. Yeah, Mo has been in the league a bit before his brother came in. And he was really a bench guy, and Franz is the better brother. But this year, Mo is starting with him, and he's actually playing better than his brother Franz, which is crazy to me, because he's a much worse player than Franz Wagner. Franz Wagner is much better. But yeah, Mo Wagner is kind of having a surge up right now with his stats and starting, because he was always a bench big, and now he's starting this year, and he's responding. But yeah, that's a great win over the Clippers. And like I said, this is kind of good that they beat the Clippers, because it alleviates some of the pressure on them to win and end their losing streak. And we don't necessarily want to deal with that. We dealt with it last Saturday, and that is very much a pressure. They're under pressure to end their streak of losing. Well, they did it while they didn't see us, and this is kind of good in a lot of ways. They're coming off a win. Starscream saying, I'm a diehard fan, but I will never believe in this version of the Nets. There is no playoff matchup in the East where we won't be at a severe disadvantage when it comes to the head coach. I don't know. Jacques Vaughn, I think he's honestly, I have more faith in Jacques Vaughn than Joe Mazzulla. How about that? I'll give you that, because he's got way more experience than Joe, and he has more respect than Joe. But in some ways, you're right. Him being like kind of the interim coach is kind of like, doesn't get respect. But then again, Jacques Vaughn is like been around the NBA for a long time. He's been an assistant coach for a long time for the Nets. And there are certain things that he may have more built up respect-wise than Mazzulla. So in some ways, I would say that. Now, your disadvantages don't necessarily have to do with your coach. Your disadvantages have to do with different times being committed to defense and rebounding. That when you guys commit to rebounding, you guys do well. But when your team does not, you're not rebounding, because that's how you've beaten us. You've come in and you've done really well on the rebounds against us, and we're one of the best rebounding teams in the league. And you've kind of hurt our offensive rebounding because you've defensive rebounded really well. So to me, the key for the Nets to do well for the rest of the season is really key on their defense and rebounding. We know y'all can score, but if you guys play defense and rebound, y'all will win. That's the whole thing that's holding y'all up. Is if you really emphasize on that and look at your rebounding, you'll do better. And guys like Claxton are very important to you guys. Claxton may be one of your most important players, but Kevin playing at his height and taking rebounds and doing stuff like that is very helpful. And him playing very good defense also. So the defense and rebounding is your Achilles heel to me, because some nights you have it and some nights you don't. And the nights you do, you win. All right, let's see. Callie's saying, I really miss Precious. I wonder if he will be able to pick up where he left off. I hope so, because I mean, seriously, he is having really good growth, like curve. After the All-Star break last year, he had a new confidence and he played so well to close out last season. This season, he's had some stumbling blocks. He kind of got in trouble with Nick Nurse for a second, and then he got hurt, and we haven't seen him since then. So hopefully, you're right that he comes back and he doesn't miss a beat, kind of like similar to what Pascal's done since he's come back from his injury. And I think it could be like he doesn't seem unhappy. That's the thing. You can get injured and be depressed and go through a mental thing along with the physical ailment. But Precious is upbeat. He's smiling. He's posting on Instagram. He's active on the bench and interacting with the guys. And I think he will be coming back with a good attitude and ready when he is physically ready to play. So I miss him too. Honestly, in some ways, I really missed Pascal earlier this season, but in some ways, I miss Precious more right now, because I really do understand what we're lacking when we don't have him compared to when we do have him. And that's that ferocious tendency on offense to just bust out and do something crazy that everybody has to worry about. And then just like I said, having another plus defender that's roaming around in our rotational defense is really, really good, because he is a really, really good defender. So we do miss him, and we want him back. We want you back, Precious. We want you back. All right, let's see. Savage is saying now, Precious can do too much sometimes. That's how he got injured. So can Gary, being one-track minded, but I agree with Otto. He's cool as a cucumber. See, I don't know what's going on with Savage today. This is weird. Can we trust you? I don't know. I mean, I can kind of agree with the Precious thing. He can try and do too much sometimes, but he's reined in more. Like, he's gotten rid of, like, when he first came to the Raptors last year, one of the things that coming from Miami, he had these crazy dribbles. He dribbled too much, and they really got him to really think about his footwork and dribbling at just the needed amount. Like, he used to dribble all around, all over the place and stuff like that. You don't ever see him do that anymore. It was a bad habit, and they got rid of it because he's a turnover prone when he does that. So I'm glad he got rid of that. But you know what? Listen, we want him to do too much. He wants to do too much. That means he's doing too much on rebounding, too much on defense, too much on offense. Hey, I want him to do too much. It's just that he has to do it within purpose and footwork and sound fundamentals, and he'll be successful. Gary, one-track minded. Yeah, I guess he's a little offensive minded, but he's really kind of like anchoring his game off of the defensive end these days, just because Nick Nurse told him, and you can tell he's doing that. Like, the offense is important, and he's shooting a really good percentage off the bench, which is crazy. Like, his field goal percentage not starting is way better than starting right now. And that's a big part of why he's not starting anymore. It's because he's actually shooting better coming off the bench. Otto's great, cool as a cucumber. Well, let's see. Like, I really feel like we haven't learned enough about Otto Porter Jr. and what we've unlocked for what he can do for our team yet at all. That we just were getting started with that when he got hurt. Monique's saying, I see so much of the bench playing tonight, even the second game. Yeah, I mean, that'd be great if we could limit our main guys to 30 to 35 minutes as much as possible. The minutes police are in effect, and they are real. Y'all are joking about it on Raptors tonight and says, yeah, I'm on the minutes police. Maybe I'm a sergeant in the minutes police force. And I am looking at the minutes, and maybe I am a little bit of minutes police. Fuck the police. No, I'm just kidding. All right, let's see. Monique is saying, oh, yeah, you know what? Listen, if we can blow them out and get a 20 to 30 point lead and let like our bench guys get some good run at the end of the game in garbage time, I would love that. That would be great. You get the rest, premium guys like Fred VanVleet and Pascal, and boom, you get time out there for Kem Birch and Delano Ban and Malachi Flynn. That's what we want to see tonight. I'm all about that too, Monique. Mike saying, well, we're going to see if the Magic coach can adjust to what happened. Passing lanes killed the Magic last time. They might key in on the passing lanes and push us more in ISO, but I'm not worried ISOing them. Yeah, yeah, a lot of the one-on-one matchups, talent-wise, we can win in isolation. That's the problem with big, good teams. It's hard for us to win in isolation just with Pascal sometimes. But with Orlando, we should be able to operate and work very well. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see if Jamal makes the right adjustments with us, but I don't have any faith in them. I really don't. I really, really don't. Their coach is not that experienced, and he's not Nick Nurse. So it's like he can figure something out, and we could just try something totally different with our offense in the middle of the game, even if he does figure out some of this passing lane stuff, as you put it. But yeah, we love the passing on Saturday. The sharing is caring. The putting the ball around to everybody and getting good, better, high percentage shots. There were a lot of like little passes right near the basket for easy dunks in the first Orlando game, and we'd like to see that be mimicked tonight for sure. Leslie's saying, I'm hoping for a winning streak over the next few games, but we can't play down to our opponents. This is so crucial and important, Raptors. Seriously, listen to Leslie Hart. You cannot play down to the Magic. You cannot think, oh, this is an easy team, a cakewalk, and just come into the Orlando arena with a half-assed attempt to beat them. You've got to come very seriously. In fact, this should be a standard for every single game. You come in with the same intensity, whether it's the Boston Celtics or the Orlando Magic, because this is true. And we have a whole history in the past of playing down to opponents and their level, and we don't want to do that. Let's just show excellence all around. This game is really about tuning up and playing better on offense with a lesser defensive opponent, where you can actually try things and get things kind of worked out and kinks worked out and get more practice. Take it that way. And listen, you need to dominate them. You need to show that it's not even close and have no shadow of a doubt that you're going to win this game tonight. So there's a lot about this that's very true. And this, listen, all the games are so hard this year. There's no easy games. This isn't necessarily an easy game. This is a game against an opponent that's very winnable, and we just need to take care of it for sure. So, yeah. Cool Cat saying, to see the beginning of the show, I just dragged the scrubber to the left, right, to the beginning. YouTube shows the timeline. That's why. Okay, so you can do it that way. Wow. I always thought that when you came into things, you always had to just watch them live while they're playing. Because I've gone to live streams. I'm like, oh, I'm in the middle of it. I wonder what they said at the beginning. I did not know you could do this, Cool Cat. You are teaching me about YouTube. That's awesome. Dwayne Greenridge is here this morning. Good morning, Raptor Freak Dwayne Greenridge. TGIF, my man. Good morning, Raptor family. Let's get another one tonight. Let's go. Yes, Dwayne Greenridge, you have a good time tonight watching the game. Hopefully a great Raptor victory over the Orlando Magic. I really, really hope it will be. Busting that TGIF that we have not won on a, thank God it's Friday. Well, we haven't won on a Friday. We need to win on a Friday tonight so that we can win next Friday when we see Starscream's team for the last time of the season, Brooklyn Nets, next Friday. So we got to bust that Friday jinx off of us. Starstream is saying Zach Lowe did an article on Scottie Barnes floaters and also said fans need to be patient with him instead of thinking he's having a disappointing second season. Yeah. For sure. Zach Lowe's exactly right. Anybody who knows basketball understands this. Leo keeps saying it on Raptors Tonight. He's like, look, this happens to every player. This is just normal. This is normal growing pains. It's just that we have them under such a microscope because we love them and we want to see Rookie of the Year, Scottie, do amazing things and have jumps. Well, he is having a jump right now on the down low, and nobody's really actually paying attention to it or understanding it. The stats may not look the same. See, these are the people that just look at the box score at the end of the night and say, oh, he didn't score as many points as I would have liked him to, because he's still scoring around 14 to 20 points a game instead of like 20 to 30 points. And that's the jump they're looking for, because all they care about is scoring. They don't understand that Scottie's doing certain things right now on the court. They're even better. And it really is that low post stuff that you're saying Zach Lowe talked about, the floaters and the stuff that he's doing down low near the basket is so overpowering that he develops this stuff. Like Leo said on Raptors Tonight the other night, who is posting up in the league right now? Not many people are posting up. And he was really smart in like distinguishing, like back in the day when he played, in the old days of playing in basketball in the NBA, if you had a size advantage on anybody, it didn't matter if you're the center, the power forward, the small forward, you could be a big point guard. And if you're a Jason Kidd and you had Muggsy Bogues on your back, you posted him up. So it's not like it's a skill that everybody did at any time, depending on a mismatch. And it's really just gone away from in today's NBA. You just don't see people post people up very often. You see Joel Embiid, and that's what Mike said. He had his two examples. He said Joel Embiid and Randall in the comments. And I was like, yeah, those are two good examples of guys who actually post up regularly because Randy couldn't think of any. That was such a great moment. But Leo's exactly right. This was a part of the NBA and just a part of scoring. It's like just as normal as a 3-point shot to post somebody up. But the game's gone so far away from post ups. It's weird. Well, Scottie could become this very dominant post player. He's already showing it. He's already really good at it. He's already making a huge high percentage of these close to the basket shots. And this is just a sign of the future that, like, if he can do this already now and nobody can stop him, this is the thing. He's going to be so dominant. And it's high percentage shots. It's not like he's dominating like a Dame Lillard where he's shooting threes from far out and then taking those kind of shots. He's doing shots that are very fundamentally like 60% of the time will go in. And in some ways, that's way more sure shot dominance if you can do that and operate in that real estate down near the basket. So yeah, great comment once again from people, like Starscream and Savage. I'm surprised and I appreciate it. Well, Starscream always knew he's cool, but Savage is one of our trolls. And but yeah, Zach Lowe's always been kind to us too. But yeah, there's nothing disappointing about what Sky's doing. And even when he had lower numbers about a month ago and they looked like he was slumping, he said it himself. He didn't feel like he was slumping when he was out on the court. He felt like he was playing very well. It's just that the numbers don't look right in the box score for the box score police. Well, we've got the minutes police and we got the Scottie Barnes box score police. I'm on the minutes police. Yeah. Jimmy Pope saying, I just know we haven't been clicking and I'm excited to see us playing at our best. This is true. Like, it's kind of anticipatory. Like, we're like, man, Raptors are so much better than what they've been doing lately. And we know that nice feeling when we see the team really clicking and things are working right and they're having success. It's so fun to watch. And we're not there right now. As Scott likes to put it, the truck's in the mud and we got to get it out of the mud. And we'll figure it out. I really do think we'll figure it out. I'm feeling better and better about figuring it out. I know earlier this week I was kind of like, well, we could go one of two ways right now. We could go up the standings or we could go down in the standings. And this is really what they got to figure out. This home stand against really top teams this month with all kinds of crazy ass teams coming in, Sacramento, Phoenix, Memphis. We have to really take care of home court business against tough Western teams and then go on this East Coast road trip with the Knicks, the Cleveland Cavaliers, and the Philadelphia 76ers. These are games we need to win also. Now, there's interesting stuff happening in the Eastern Conference right now. Some of it is sorting things out. Not only is Nate McMillan fighting with Trae Young, we have learned today that DeJounte Murray is going to be out for a month almost. So Atlanta's going to be hitting a slide, and they're going to be going down in the standings for almost definitely. So it'll be interesting to see who can rise up and get higher in these as they fall down. Now, there's more news. Like Obi Toppin is out for the New York Knicks now with an injury. So there's a lot of stuff happening that's affecting the Eastern Conference teams in the very tightly packed standings right now that is going to shake it up. And we're going to start seeing it get sorted a little bit more clearly in the next month until the end of the new year and even more so next year. So, yeah, very interesting things happening with different teams. And you got to see where they're trending, whether they're trending going up or down. And I think Atlanta's on the way down right now. Monique is saying, Aaron Rose, bring out the trade aspects so early. For what for? Let's focus on the now, please. Yeah, I saw Aaron Rose's article yesterday. So he's basically just letting us know that this is the thing. This is what I've been saying to everybody. Why are you doing trade talk right now? The trade season's not open. Well, now it's about to be open, and now it makes sense to talk about trade stuff. But really, we shouldn't, because we still need to figure out what's going on with this team. In fact, we have had such bad injuries. We can't properly assess the Raptors and how good they are for a run in the playoffs this year until we get them all back and we actually feel that clicking that Jimmy Pope is wanting so bad. Is we can't really say, oh, we need to trade people because we don't know because they've been hurt. And we've got to really get everybody healthy and run for like a month that way before we can actually make any deals. So any Raptor fans that are clamoring for a quick deal right away, I don't think they'll do it because they're still in assessment mode. And maybe like later on in the season, but I don't know. I don't know. We'll have to see. But I like Monique's attitude about this. Is what for? Why? We're not a trade team, but he's just giving us the information. Basically, I don't think he's saying he endorses a trade or anything, and I don't think anybody does. It's just that he's saying this is how it is, and now this period is opening up in December. That any of the Raptors can be traded except for Chris Boucher is what he's saying basically. Chris can't be traded until January the 15th, but a lot of the other guys can get traded right now if we wanted to. But I don't think we're looking at that at all. Nako's saying, I keep forgetting about Boucher. I do think when we get to 6-9 order becomes a little less set. Pacers is the second best Canadian team. Franz is worse than Scottie, which is a compliment. Yeah, I agree with that last statement for sure. I don't want Franz Wagner to jump up and start doing things this weekend while we're down in Orlando. No, I don't. I want him to continue to be kind of You think the Pacers are the second best Canadian team. We're the best Canadian team, obviously, Toronto, and the Pacers are second. You can't forget about Christopher. Come on, Nako. You cannot forget about Christopher. Never forget about Christopher. Savage is saying the facts were true. Even now, Fred's pictures are removed from her Insta. Seems odd if it was a reset the algorithm thing. Maybe she's resetting the algorithm too. Who knows? I digress. Well, there's nothing wrong. Like the problem I have with what you're doing, Savage, is there's nothing wrong with Fred's relationship with his fiance. You're reading way too much into this. It could be that, like, listen, she maybe doesn't want him. Maybe he told her, like, he's setting up new boundaries in his social media right now. Is basically what he's saying, is that he had to restart and do everything and build it over. And there's a couple of things that he did. He said, all right, I'm not following everybody. I'm going to rebuild who I follow. And I want you to do your stuff private, Shantae. So she's turned a lot of her accounts private. Like her Twitter is private now. Now, if you can look at her Instagram, it may be that he said, listen, I don't want myself on your Instagram or the kids or anything. Maybe there's new rules with how they're doing social media right now. Now, I'll tell you this. She has no problem with Fred, and they're not fighting because she was at the game, the Laker game again. If she was fighting with him, she would not be sitting at the front row of his games and supporting him and being there for him, just so you know. So that's the thing I would take first. Is is her presence at the game in her usual spot underneath the basket over there next to the Dragon's Den guy? Yeah, she's there. So that's the thing I would look at right there. If she was really upset with him, she would not come to the game. So that's the only thing I would look at, Savage, logically. Oh, she's mad at Fred. You think she's going to come and sit at the game and publicly be out there supporting him? So, think about it logically here, like logical Raptors fanatic would. And he maybe said, I don't want to be on your Instagram anymore because I don't want you to be connected with me. People won't know that you're my fiance otherwise. So there could be all kinds of different reasons. He's putting up barriers on his social media right now against people like you and I, and not against his family and other people. So, all right, I digress as well. And this is, there's no problem internally in his family. His problem has been with the controversy around his injury and him not playing well, his shot being a little off kilter, and the Noah system catching it, stuff like that. It's not in his relationship. You just want to make it that. See, in some ways, that's what pisses me off about you, is that you want to focus so much on busting up a happy, healthy family by just making up nonsense. And that's fucked up. Seriously, this is a family. These are kids. There's little kids that mommy and daddy. You want to fuck up little Fred's family because you're spreading lies? Fuck you, Savage, is what I'll say. So if you want to continue this narrative, just fuck off, because Fred doesn't deserve this. And there's nothing wrong with his family. So you just let it go and understand, if she's at the game sitting in the front row, what the fuck you think she's upset with him? Why would she come to the game if she was upset with him? So that's all I'll say about this. And seriously, if you continue to try and start a narrative that Fred and his wife are not getting along and their family's in trouble, I might tell a wrench to get thrown at you, because this is not what we do here. And it's been proven otherwise. He said it himself in the press conference what's going on. You got to listen to Fred at his own word. And, that's what's going on. So Bishop's saying, have you seen that? No, he hasn't, whatever. Honestly, we don't have to push this any further. It's really dumb, honestly. In some ways, it's really, really dumb. And it is TMZ kind of shit. So, Callie's saying, love to see Gary have a great shooting game tonight. He is due for one. Honestly, Callie, he's been shooting very well. It's just the volume is not as big and scoring is not as much. But he could have a crazy game tonight. Like, what if he has like an almost 40-point game off the bench and he shoots like over 50%, including from three? I'd love to see that too, Callie. I'd love to see Gary bust out a huge game tonight. That would be fantastic. Mike's going to say, I found the saying Fred and his wife are having issues. I effed up and I found it disgusting, especially when simply looking into things would have shut that down in an instance. I feel Savage needs to. See, Mike is reiterating what I just said to you in the comments, wrote it before I said it. And we're saying the same thing. It's disgusting that you want to talk about this aspect of his life. That, it's hard enough being a public figure and being in a relationship with people and all the things that come with that. Fans of the team, I don't think you're a fan of the Raptors, first of all. I know you're probably a Boston fan and that you're just in here trying to cause shit. And I'm going to say families should be off limits, especially when young children are involved. And I stand with Mike on this and we look down on what you're doing right now, man. And it's like disgusting in a way. Would you want somebody doing this to your family? Whether it's you're married with a wife or it's your parents and fucking things up like that, be kind and think of Fred VanVleet Jr. and his sister, please. G saying Fred is following her and she went private. And are the pictures still removed? Wonder if she was getting harassed. I'm probably sure she was getting harassed or something. Who knows? I mean, she was so out there publicly and she'd interact with fans on Twitter very much so. She would do beautiful things. Like she'd see somebody complaining about that they had a really bad day or something, they lost their job. And she'd be like, Fred, can we get a signed jersey to this person to brighten their day? She'd do that in the comments in Twitter. She's a really nice person and a really great person. And I'll bet you this is part of what G's saying is that she's probably getting harassed. And Fred just had to say, I got to dial it back. I'm sorry, honey. You cannot be out there like that. I'm an NBA player and I slump from time to time. And people may come and try and take it out on you, sick fucks. So yeah, I think that G's right is that, and it may be that she's just like, look, she wants to have her social media still and be kind of out there. It's just that there's new boundaries and that's all it is. And it's not in-house. Everything's fine. It's just that the problem is with people like us. It's not inside the problem. The problem is with people coming and bugging them. Cool Cat saying, I would hope that when everyone is back, we have a 10-man rotation. We use our depth for the rest of the regular season. I am ready for us to move up in the ranks now for All-Star voting. Yeah, All-Star voting is going to be starting up soon. People are talking a lot about OG and possibly being an All-Star. The guys on Raptor yesterday had basically they're right. He's not going to get in for the popular vote from the fans. He's really going to have to rely on the coaches to recognize what he's done this year and put him in that way. Because I don't think OG will get voted in by the fans on a popular vote. And that's too bad. But it's also, there's a lot of factors in that and reasons why. But I could see the coaches saying, you know what, this guy's been phenomenal all year. Put him on the All-Star game. But it's really going to, like they said also, it's going to depend on the Raptors and how high we are in the standings, how good our record is, and whether we can have two All-Stars. Because Pascal's going to go first, obviously. Pascal will be an All-Star first. But OG should be the second one if second Raptors going as far as who's played well this year. So, yeah, I'm excited too. And just because we get these guys back, once again, Nick Nurse will do something crazy and be like, I still want to only play like 7 guys. I hate this so much, Nick. I wish you could be more like some of these old teams back in the day that would do like 10-man rosters, like 10-man rotations, like Cool Cat is saying. Because there's a lot of good championship teams that had 10-man rotations. And there's nothing wrong with that. You want more variety, more variability of different kind of looks and powers that you can put on the court to help the Raptors win, depending on the situation. You want to have 10 guys ready that are dependable, that are reliable, and in your regular rotation normally. If not every game, at least coming in every other game and at least checking in. Guys like Delano or Otto Porter Jr., depending on how and what you need for the game in that day. Monique is saying Fred's partnership with Uggs and Fred's Family Foundation is officially launched. Now launched. Let's go, Fred. Yeah, I like the new Fred campaign. In fact, it's kind of funny. It was funny to see it come out yesterday. It's like, good morning, a day with Fred. Everybody's wondering what's going on with Fred. Meanwhile, he has an UGG campaign that's showing you what he's doing this morning. He's sitting in his kitchen with a newspaper and his slippers, and he's just enjoying a nice beverage. In fact, he might as well have been Tom Duke and I sitting next to the window with the tea and just like, all right, a dumpster fire broke out in my life this week, and I put it out. I went over there and I just peed all over that dumpster fire of social media dumpster fire. Thank you, Michael Grange, for asking me that question, even though I was mad at you, but you helped me put that dumpster fire out. And I'm just going to sit here and read my paper and drink my coffee. Yeah, it was very much like that sipping tea kind of moment like we did last year whenever we'd beat a team or get the tears of the other team crying. We collect the tears in the tea and we drink it by the window. Well, that's a little bit what Fred VanVleet's Uggs campaign looks like right now. Go check it out. He's such a G. He's so cool. He's just sitting there, just drinking his coffee with a paper. And I'm like, that is such an interesting kind of like juxtaposition to what's going on with him right now, that he's calm, cool, collected, and he's inviting us into his morning. You go, Fred. We love you so much. And I love the new ad campaign, Monique, the Uggs ad campaign. Cowboys here. Good to see Cowboy. Good morning, Lex and Raptor Freaks. Wish I could stay, but just want to say quickly, we need these 2 wins and start a winning streak. Let's go, Raptors. Later. Enjoy your day, everybody. You be safe out there, Bradley, and have a good day. The Tada, call Tada. They'll come and help you at the house. That's what he's out there doing right now. Carpet cleaning, window cleaning. You need something taken off your roof, maybe. I don't know. You want something moved, like a heavy couch. The brothers Tada, they're helpful in all kinds of ways, and they do home renovations and remodeling. So check out Tada in the phone book. They can help you. Now, what they're doing next door right now, outside my window, is they're chopping down trees and branches that are overhanging the street, and they're putting them through the wood chipper. So you might hear a wood chipper in the background of my stream today because they revved it up just now and they're going to start throwing some wood through it. It's always something in my intersection. I'm going to tell you, there's always something going on here. Can you hear it? All right, let's see. G saying, I really respect how Gary is handling himself. Was called out coming off the bench and saying he's basically trusts the coaches. I know he doesn't show much emotion, but this throws people off. He's a professional. Yeah, no, I'm super impressed with Gary too. Because, like, look, this is trauma from Portland. This is part of the reason why I was depressed playing for the Trailblazers, was not starting. But it was really not that he wasn't starting. It was that they were jerking him around, that he didn't know what his role would be from night to night, and he couldn't prepare correctly. It's like, oh, I'm coming off the bench. Okay, I thought it was starting tonight. Oh, you got me starting tonight. I was so ready to come on the bench. He's like, he just wants to know ahead of time in some ways, I think, and maybe not be jerked around too much. You know, it's kind of like what happened with Russell the other day against us. I thought they'd start Russell, but maybe they didn't start Russell because he's really thinking about trying to get 6th man of the year. He's like, don't start me, guys. I need to have as many non-starts with my stats as possible. And maybe Gary should start thinking this way. If he wants to be in the running for a 6th man of the year, he may not want to start at this point, partly because his stats and his shooting are better. And, he could actually go professionally for that 6th man of the year this year if he really kills it. He has a chance, seriously, because he's a great offensive weapon. He's a starter, really. But if he's coming off the bench, he could be like Lou Williams kind of stuff, get a 6th man of the year. But, yeah, he is totally professional. And I appreciate Gary Trent Jr., trusting his coach and allowing him to do what he needs to do, and he'll take care of him right. Jimmy's saying the Magic aren't keen in on anything. No, I don't think so. I don't know. I don't know. Like, in some ways, like, it feels like they're like, once again, we say like we're a college team, they're a high school team. It's kind of like that. Maybe we're playing chess and they're playing checkers. Like Monique and I like to say, they're playing checkers and we're playing chess. And there is a little bit of that in the two teams between what they're trying to do and what we're trying to do. Nameless is here. Thank you, Nameless, for promoting me on the Raptors Tonight the other night. I saw you give me a good plug there, and I really appreciate you. We have a golden opportunity to pull ahead of 500 tonight and start a little roll. Yes, let's not squander this opportunity, Raptors. Let's take it very seriously and get it done. Let's get it done. Yeah. Mike saying Pope. Let's see. Basically is about more channel streaming at the same time, and the low ones get no playback, so peak hours will have similar streamers not having the option to limit bandwidth, similar to Twitch and HD. Okay. All right. Well, once again, technical stuff that I'm really not I don't know anything about, but I guess that's interesting insight. Cool Cat saying Magic will zone us tonight. Teams know that is part of our weakness. Okay. We'll zone us then. We got Chris Boucher, the zone buster. He'll jump in the middle of the lane and make a little leaner shot, and we'll be fine. I think we really do have ways to beat the zone now better than we did last year, which is really good. Bishop's got a smiley face, and Monique is saying, yes, Nameless, we can. 500 indeed. Shout to Vivek on his article on Scottie, too. Something to talk about, Lex. Brampton is heading to the CEBL. So much news. Oh, they added Brampton to the CEBL. I know that they've added a couple teams out west already. It's fantastic. The growth of the CEBL is awesome. More Canadian basketball league teams. Fantastic. Brampton's a great spot. They can play Scarborough. And they're going to be a Brampton versus Scarborough rivalry. Yeah, I like it. Vivek, always good content usually. I have not read any of that stuff from Raptors Republic or Vivek or anybody recently. But if he has a nice article on Scottie, that's awesome. Savage saying people with no expectations don't get brand deals, Lex. FYI, the all-defensive team, all-star goals were put on Barnes himself, not by casual fans. Just saying. Carry on. All right, Savage, let me break this down, and I'll be fair. Yeah, the defensive team and all-star goals, I was there when we talked about this with Scottie in the Twitch. And he said, guys, what should I go for this year? This is what he asked us. And we're like, well, all-star maybe, defensive player, defensive team. And he's like thinking, Scottie's sitting there thinking, he's like, which one would be better? And he's like, I think I like being on all defensive team more than all-star. So he really wants the all defensive stuff more than the all-star thing in some ways. But in some ways, he's not really in the running for all defensive stuff because obviously you have to do it for a long time to be able to even get considered. Just ask OG Anunoby. So I don't know. It's a little far-fetched for that stuff. As far as the concerns about, like, look, it's not even those two things. It's very much his stat line. It's his stats, his production. That everybody thinks it's all linear, that it just goes up. And it's not that way. That his stats are a little bit lower than last year, so they instantly just think, oh, he's like 1 or 2 points lower than his scoring average last year, and they think that he's not as good. It's really that kind of assessment. It's really dumb. It's really, really dumb. People with no expectations don't get brand deals. See, that's the thing. Fred is very much like, look, in some ways, Fred's career is weird because he's undrafted. He doesn't even get a draft. Then he's like G League, and then he overcomes that. And then boom, all of a sudden he's a player on a championship team. Then boom, he's a starter. He's a captain. His path is really weird. And now he's an all-star. Well, he's not totally used to being like a superstar like treatment. And you're right. He gets ads now. If you get ads and you're an Uggs commercial, you're in a Gillette commercial, then you're a little bit more arrived, and people are going to be putting you under the spotlight like Savage and be scrutinizing your social media. Well, this is something he didn't realize. And he said that this week. He said, look, I didn't realize how much people are really looking at me and my family on Facebook and social media and different places. Now I want to dial it back. And this is really what is happening right now is he wants a little bit more of a boundary. He wants a little bit more again, like with people away in some ways. Like he already limits his comments on Instagram. When he makes a post, not everybody can comment in there. He's so probably like, you know what, Shantae, just make your stuff private because it'll just make our life just a little bit less headaches. This is the way he's thinking right now, is that kind of stuff. Let's see. Click saying, can y'all stop overreacting to shit? Jesus, God. You guys are like little wussies. Mind your own fucking business. I know I'm with this. I'm totally with this. And I'm part of the good fight on this because it's like, look, that's his private life. That's his life. And I'm with you on this. It's like Fred, when he came and brought us this bullshit the other day, I was like, come on, this is not what we do on this channel. This channel is about X's and O's and helping the team to win and get towards good stuff. And that's part of the reason why I've been on the fence about Savage recently, about whether we do want to have him still here in the chat. We'll see. I mean, if this continues, if we see a trend or a pattern of bringing up tabloid kind of bullshit that is not helpful and not really the content we want on this channel, yeah, we'll show them the door. Click. But yeah, I'm with you. And I'm not overreacting to anything. I'm just trying to explain it in general to Raptors fan nation so that we can kind of put out dumpster fires. because there's a lot of dumb fans out there that are probably saying stupid shit and spreading dumb rumors. And if we can be like more of an informative channel and tell them the truth and this is what's going on, that can help in the whole information like battle of like what's actually going on. Starscream saying, yeah, Lex, I forgot to mention that at the end of his blurb on the Raps, he said the half court offense is struggling right now, but he 100% still believes they will go on some type of run. I'm not sure who you're talking about, but listen, the Nets have handled us really well this year, and it really is Kyrie. We need to get y'all next Friday. I just want to have at least one game where we beat you guys because we don't want to get swept by you guys in the regular season. So next Friday is going to be a very important game for the Raptors to beat the Brooklyn Nets at least once this season because I don't like getting swept by a team. So this game is going to be very important coming up. Our half-court offense has struggled at times. Yeah, we need to get it figured out. I wish they would do more pick and roll, personally. Cool Cat saying, I realize Scottie is no longer smiling on the court, giving us OG serious face. We will not see his joy anymore. Shares with his team only. Bummer. He is learning fans attack everyone. Yeah, I hate that part of things and stuff like that. But listen, he has shown joy on the court also, though. He has very much been very happy and smiley and hugging and high-fiving. And, it's just that I think that in some ways, maybe he comes into the game with a game face now where he's taking it very serious. Like before, him and Justin and Delano would joke around in the shoot around and just be like smiles and all this. I think he's coming in very like stoic and like very like I'm coming in to kill the other team kind of mentality instead of happy-go-lucky kind of smiley Scottie. I think that has to do with it more, that he's kind of getting an eye of the tiger game face for playing against the team. And I don't know. I worry about this. Like maybe there is some innocence ruined in different ways where he realizes and Fred's realizing that, social media and the public can affect and be annoying and be a problem. And maybe there are a bit of more walls up. Maybe this is part of the reason why we're not seeing him on Twitch recently. So who knows? But yeah, the fans, man, they suck. They suck sometimes when they're so negative and awful. But this is happening everywhere. It's not just our fan nation. It happens in every fan nation. Trust me. So he would find it anywhere. It's not like this is, these guys don't know because they've only played for the Raptors. But if they go anywhere else, it would be just as bad. And it may be even worse in some markets, like in New York. Definitely. Philadelphia, probably. Boston, same thing. They're very, very critical, and they will like pick things apart. Let's see. Monica's saying All-Star voting is December 20th, everybody. All right, good note. You can start voting for All-Star on December 20th. Bishop saying, have you seen the Shaq documentary? No, I haven't seen it yet, Bishop. I did not know there was one out there. I'll have to go see what it looks like and what's going on with that. Mike's saying Lex definitely said everything that needed to be said on the Fred VanVleet stuff. Project Truth, Lex, always. Right on, Mike. Yeah, and you and I are echoing the same thing. And this is true. And this is part of what we're trying to do, whether it's your channel and what you do on chats in different places, whether it's what I'm doing on this channel. We're fighting the good fight, and we're trying to help the health of the Raptors in different ways. G's saying, imagine our jobs, personal lives, facial expressions, conversations being scrutinized and dissected the way these guys are. They get paid millions to play a sport, but now everything is under a scope. Oh, yeah. It's very high pressure. Every little thing, like Scottie said at the beginning of his Twitch, he's like, I realized whenever I say anything, you guys will like say it and it'll become something new. Like your name is Scottie or Diamonds on your 2K game. Well, people are going to call you Scottie or Diamonds because they see that that's a name you like to use in your video game. If you say something like Yasirski, everybody else in Toronto starts saying Yasirski. So there's a certain power and responsibility in that because, you do shape little kids. Little kids want to be like Scottie. Well, they may start saying things like Scottie, whatever it is. They will say the full word defense. But it's true. It's like so much pressure, and it's like they get paid a lot of money, but that is part of it all. It's like there's good and bad with it. And the pressure is definitely one of the harder things to deal with. Isaac saying, I stood in solidarity with Fred and unfollowed my mom this week. Oh my gosh, that's comment of the day. Good job, Isaac Campbell. You're standing in solidarity with Fred VanVleet, and you unfollowed your mother also. Good job. Throwing off the smoke. Yeah, I understand why you did that. You're trying to say everybody's doing it. It reminds me of that Adam Sandler movie where the little kid pees his pants on the field trip. And Adam Sandler says, everybody's doing it. And he pisses his pants just to make the kids seem cool. And then all the kids piss their pants. You know that movie I'm talking about, that Adam Sandler movie. Good job, Isaac Campbell, showing solidarity for Fred and unfollowing your mom. Ooh. Jimmy Pope saying, what should Scottie be smiling about when we have been losing until we start winning like the team expects? I'm sure you will see him play with joy. The fans laugh out loud. All right. Yeah, I agree with this. And that is a big part of the reason why he may be frowning or upset or banging the ball on the court at the end of the game is because he hates losing. And that is a part of it. We've seen Scottie smiling and having a good time and laughing. You know, there's a certain joy he gets from watching his teammates play really well, whether it's watching the highlights later on his Twitch or on the court, seeing them do really well. The joy is there. You'll see it. But it's a mixed bag. And maybe he just doesn't feel like being a fool and just being so giddy and smiling because he's in the NBA like last year, because it's like, okay, this is serious shit. And I don't want to seem like I'm casual or not caring about things because I'm smiling all the time. I got to get my game face on. But he cracks a smile and he lights up real nice in the middle of the game. All of a sudden, just brightens up just from different things. You just got to pay attention to him. He really is expressive. He has no poker face. Either he is like really like pissed, he's smiling, maybe he's a little discouraged, or maybe he's a little even. But you can always read him to a degree because he cannot control how his face reacts. It just happens, and it's like, oh yeah, okay, he's hurt or he's disgusted with himself because they lost. You know, Nameless Saint Savage. All right, this is for Savage, and I want to say this just like a mafioso boss would. Savage. To say Nato. I was trying to channel John Attilia. Click saying, this is how you drive players out of town, you fucking idiots. I know. That's what I'm saying. Let's stop. I don't know. They watch me. If somebody in the Raptors organization watches me, hopefully they think of me as a force of good. Maybe Nick Nurse is like, he's educating the masses on basketball things. I appreciate that. He's interpreting our interviews and telling people what we should think or understand about what they're saying. And it makes it all easier than us having to elaborate over and over again. The Raptor freak out there is just putting that message out and reiterating what we want to say. I don't know. I really do walk that balance of like, what is this too much intrusiveness, or is this too much wanting to know what's going on with the Raptors with what I do on this channel? Is this really something I should be reporting on? You know, I really think about that all the time. But I also think about like, well, this is something that's talked about in Raptors world, so we better look at it. And if anything, try and help in the situation as best we can and saying stuff. And I agree. Like, I don't want to drive anybody out of town, but this is the kind of thing that this happens in every city. It would happen everywhere else. This is not singular or just to us and our fan base. It happens everywhere else too. And just as long as nobody's psycho or doing anything really fucking crazy and stuff like that. I don't know. But all right, let's keep going. Mike saying, click, exactly. Big facts. It has a real effect. It's not just fun and games when it comes to people's family. Not gonna lie. Remember Nav telling people to chill with chasing Kawhi around and poking at his family. I know. We wanted Kawhi to stay. We did the Kawhi and dine. We're really like, people were crazy, being like, a little bit too crazy. I'm a freak about the team, but there's limits and there's things I will not do. When you start doing stalkerish kind of shit, like finding out their specific address and maybe try and go there, or maybe like trying to contact people in their family that just aren't a public person, these are problems. These are definitely problems. There's definitely a respect that fans should have. And I don't know, it may be more symptom of like our culture and our world in general, just because of social media and the way it is now, that it's a lot more different and it's a lot more intense in some ways, because people can see everything from everybody, all the worst and all the best from everywhere. And yeah, I agree. There's lines that should not be crossed as far as like when you want to cover the Raptors and talk about them. That's kind of what Fred was doing with Michael Grange. It's like, look, why are we talking about this? Well, in some ways you needed to, just because there was so much scrutiny. And instead of having a bunch of lingering questions about the situation, well, if you answer some of them, then it can be put to rest and get behind you, instead of like it ongoing because everybody's still wondering about it. Well, Fred told us it's putting out a dumpster fire, and that's good. That's very good. That is very, very good. All right, let's see. Okay, let me see where it jumped a sec. Monique saying Pascal takes episodes are officially out too, and his game day routines are great. Yeah, there's a new Pascal clip on his Instagram. It's very dramatic, very well produced, really cool pregame stuff. Something I didn't totally watch it. You guys can't hear the wood chipper? That's good. It's very loud. It's very distracting to me. Cool Cat saying we have to focus on our players' basketball skills and not their personal lives. In our career, we don't want others to be involved in our personal lives. Personal privacy is the standard. Yes. Yes. Now it's that's part of the whole thing with the Twitch, though. Like Scotty's put himself out there this summer, and I learned a lot about his personal life and a lot about him. And you guys are Raptor fans, you want to know about him. Now, am I wrong, like for putting some of that stuff out there when he's willingly putting it out there on Twitch? I don't know. There's a balance there. I don't know. As long as I have good intentions and I'm not trying to make him look bad or bring out stuff that's trying to make him have problems, I think that that's okay because he's honestly going out there for public consumption on Twitch and saying things and putting it out there and offering it. I don't know. There is a fine line though, and I have to deal with it every single day when I do this channel. I really do think about this a lot, and like morals and what are the lines I will not cross, and what I will, what is okay and what isn't. I do have to think about that all the time. Starscream saying the Zach Lowe article where he talked about Scottie Barnes. He also talked about the Raps long term for the season. Cool. I like Zach Lowe. He's always pretty fair to us. So I may have to go read that article. Savage saying, let's talk X's and O's. Should Boston, the Raptors, get Colin Sexton young and can still be developed into a solid two-way point guard? Plus, he's a dog. Isn't Sexton hurt? I thought I heard recently that he's actually going to be out. Yeah, he's out for a week. He's hurt his hamstring on the Jazz, and he's going to be out for a week. I don't want him on our team. If you want him on your team, Boston, go ahead. I mean, you got Brogdon and you got White. I don't know if you really need Sexton. He is a baller, though. That in some ways, he's more of a baller than those two guys. I don't know, Starscream or Savage. I don't know. That's up to you guys. I don't think we want him on the Raptors just because we have guys already. But that's an interesting idea. Mike's saying not Savage has a point of Fred VanVleet is more in the public space, but his family should be off limits, just like every player, star or not. They do a job for our entertainment, and their family shouldn't be the cost. Of course, yeah. I mean, if he wants to bring his kids into the press conference and have them on a camera, that's fine. If he wants to bring them to OVO Center and show them dribbling around, that's fine. His kids are public figures in some ways because we know them, and he's put them on Instagram in certain ways. Now, Shantae hasn't totally been a public figure, but she is publicly known, and she was publicly out there on her social media. It's really, they got to come up with how much they want to be like OG. You want to be this much like OG and completely nothing. You want to be like Kawhi and not have anything. That it's really up to the individual, because some of them do like to be on there. Like, the youngs, they really love to profess their love and put it on display for everybody to see. Shanika and Thad, and the beautiful pictures of them as a couple that they put out all the time, celebrating their couple love and their family. It's like, they put that out on because they want to, but they don't have to. And they could be very private. It's like, part of it is on them to decide how much they want to put out there and limit it themselves. Because, but when people are out of pocket and they're doing weird things, like talking to family members or something like that, unless they're Uncle Dennis, you shouldn't be doing that. Bishop saying an old school nickname that Lex might like. An old school nickname that Lex might like. What is the nickname? I'm wondering. Let's see. Monique's saying Clippers are on my list this year. Norman's return, but we obviously want Raptors to win. Let's go. Are you saying you're going to that game, Monique, or you're wondering if they're going to be really good? If Kawhi could come back and play regularly, maybe they could do some playoff noise. But without Kawhi, they're not going to do shit. Sue saying, good morning, everyone. Just happy Friday. Let's get a big win over the Magic, just like last time. Yes, play it again, Sue. Check out her YouTube channel, Play It Again, Sue. She's got a bunch of reactions up already in her first week. Lots of good content already. Check out Sue's new music reaction channel, Play It Again, Sue. Isaac saying, you're not cool unless you unfollow your mom. I think you're cool if you follow your mom. I don't know. Nameless is saying I did very good. Bravo, bravo. De Niro who? De Niro who? Yeah, Robert De Niro is one of my favorite actors of all time. Like he's top 3 for me. Like he has always been one of my favorite guys. I love Robert De Niro so much. And Scorsese films. Oh, look out! I love those films. Cool Cat saying to get to All Stars, we will need to be at least second or third in the standings. We have to make sure we vote daily in large numbers for Pascal and OG. Gary is developing a complete game from the bench. Yeah, I like what Gary's doing. And I think that's about right. If we could maybe be the 4th seed and maybe get 2 of them, but I think the Cool Cat's right that we're going to definitely need to be pretty high up in the standings to get 2 All-Stars. But who knows? Maybe the coaches will be like, no, this guy OG just got to be there. We've had so much trouble with him shutting down our best players. We got to just get him. Mike saying Isaac going Billy Madison, laughing my ass off. Golden comment. O'Doul's sucks. Yeah, we're getting in the Adam Sandler references today. You know what, Monique? I try not to watch Bob McCown, but yesterday on the show, Doug Smith sees Gary Trent Jr. out the door, shaking my head, referring to my last comment on the trade aspects thing, shaking my head, shaking my head, shaking my head. Well, this is talked about a lot recently, like in the last couple of days. And yeah, that podcast, I would not watch that. First of all, I hate Bob McCown and his little friend. They suck. They don't cover the Raptors correctly. They don't pay attention to the Raptors correctly, and they don't get anything right. So they shouldn't be talking about the Raptors in the first place, Bob McCown and his little buddy with the gray mustache. And then Michael Grange and Doug Smith, you're going to invite them as the other 2 in the party? Fuck that. That's not content I want to watch. Because these dudes are not, but Doug's probably right though. This is the sad thing, and if we're really being realistic about this, with the contract stuff for next summer with Gary and Fred and different people, it may not make sense to do Gary, and it may be really smart to trade him this year. So Doug may be right. I hate to say it, but I don't want to believe it until it happens. Until Bobby Webster makes a move, I don't speculate on anything. If a trade gets made, then we adjust and we see who's on the court with us now. But otherwise, I'm not even going to worry about this, and Gary shouldn't either. Just play your ass off, do good things. But the chances of him getting traded this year are hugely very high. Let's just put it that way. They really are very high. But I'm trying not to look at it myself and talk about it too much. Until it happens, then we'll adjust. But otherwise, Gary Trent Jr. is a Raptor. I love him. I want him to play for the Raptors as long as possible. But the chances of him getting traded this year, in actuality, are very, very high. And I hate to say it, but it's true. Randolph saying, good morning, beloved Raptor freaks. Game day blessings as we go for another team victory in convincing style. Let's go Raptors. Thank you, Randolph Phillips. Yes, let's get this one in a convincing style. I like that. That means a very good lead the whole game, maybe winning the whole entire 48 minutes, and boom, an easy win, no stress. I like it. Cool Cat saying, Pascal from day one has managed his social media exposure for pure basketball. It's all about his work. His dating life is not shown. His siblings may post personal stuff from time to time. Yeah, the stuff that Pascal posts is really like his well-crafted, very well-produced content, whether it's for Red Bull or the things he's doing right now for his channel. He shows pictures of people wearing his jerseys quite often on Instagram, fans that are wearing his jerseys in different places. He puts them on blast on his Instagram. And then every once in a while, you'll see pictures of him with his niece or with some family members, but not very often. I've never seen a picture of his mother. I have no idea what his mother looks like. And this is very calculated and controlled and private. And this is great. And that's important. And that's maybe what each player needs to assess is what level of access am I giving to the public? And this is where I draw the line. And this is where we're not, but this is all private. And certain family members, you don't want to be in the public eye at all. You guard them. It's just why celebrities don't show their kids in any kind of way quite often in Hollywood. They don't want to show their children to the paparazzi and different people. So this is good. And it's true. Pascal's a great example of how to handle your social media in a very effective way. That is very smart. They're all different in different ways. You can look at what OG's done. Nothing, hardly. Kawhi's done absolutely nothing, ever. And, there's different levels, and you can be different places. Like Fred, maybe not as open as Scottie, but Fred is a little bit more open than Pascal. But Pascal's a little bit more open than OG. It's there are different levels. Let's see. Mike's saying facts, Cat, and his brothers helped him with that being popular enough. Basketball players themselves in college would probably knowing the issues. And like I said, this is the other thing. Social media is evolving and changing all the time. So it's like some of the things you may do dealing with social media in 2007 when Facebook just came out is a totally different animal at this point. You have to think about more different things, and with different platforms, there's different pitfalls and different problems in different places. So it's really getting savvy with it. And sometimes players just need to have a social media team to just handle it themselves. And then there's some players that like to do it all themselves and really enjoy it, like Kevin Durant on his Twitter. So it really is each individual player deciding what level they want to have. All right, let's keep going. Lolita's saying, good morning, Raptors freaks. W for the boys tonight. Raptors, NBA champions 2023. Toronto Raptors, NBA champions 2023. Toronto Raptors, 2023 NBA champions. I like it, Lolita. I like it a lot. And yes, good morning to you also. Monique saying, I'm going to the game. That's what I'm referring to. Okay, so you're going to Clippers game. All right, cool. That's what I thought you meant when you said that. That's a game on your list. So you're going to the Clippers game. That's fantastic. Give Norman a good, warm welcome back. He has not gotten his welcome back since he's been traded from the Raptors really correctly. So give him a nice warm welcome back for sure. And Bishop saying Chris, Boucher, Sodbuster. Okay, so when you were saying that earlier, Bishop, you said old school nicknames that you like the name Sodbuster for Chris. Sodbuster. We might need to start calling him Sweet Chin Music because he loves Shawn Michaels so much. All right, let's do some of the business we got to do on this channel. What we are looking for is the referee check right now. We have 2 sets of referees to go over tonight. Let's just do the 905 real quick. Out in Maine, the Raptors 905 are playing the Maine Celtics. Who we were talking about? Are they the Maine Lobsters or are they the Maine Red Claws? You guys were talking about that the other day. Why is it that I guess it was just a lobster team. I don't know. But the Maine Celtics, we get J.D. Rouse as the main ref. Matt Rafferty and Gerda Gatling are the 3 referees for the G League game tonight. And then for our refs for the main roster game in Orlando, James Capers Jr. is our head ref. And yeah, he's not very friendly to us recently. We lost our last game that he ref. He's in his 29th season as a ref out of Chicago, Illinois. His favorite TV show is Blackish. His favorite movie is Malcolm X. His favorite musician is Jill Scott. He has a hidden talent of playing very good bid whist. And his favorite meal is lobster roll on Martha's Vineyard. So we got to get him a lobster roll. And as I said, James Capers Jr., we lost the last game he repped. He's not been nice to us. He does not like the Raptors. He is kind of a jerk. And our record with him out there is 46%. We win. Meanwhile, the Magic win 50% of the time. So he is a ref that actually favors the Magic tonight, the head ref. And his occupation, other than being a referee, is he is actually served on the National Basketball Referee Association's executive board. And he was one of the people that negotiated the collective bargaining agreement with the NBA and the refs. So he's a union rep. So that's who James Capers Jr. is. And he favors the Magic. The second ref is Curtis Blair. Curtis Blair is from Roanoke, Virginia. He's in his 16th season. His favorite TV show is Dexter. His favorite movie is Grease. You're the one that I want. His favorite musicians, Casey and JoJo. His hidden talent is he's a good tennis player. And his favorite meal is lamb curry. Now, the thing about Curtis Blair is he studied criminal justice in University of Richmond, but he was also a basketball player. And he was a member of the 1991 basketball team that upset Syracuse in the first round of the NCAA tournament. And that was while he was at the University of Richmond. And he's also played in the NBA as a player. He was selected by the Rockets in the second round of the 1992 NBA draft. And he played professionally in Australia, Austria, and Turkey also. So Curtis Blair is a former player as a referee. And his record is pretty good with us. We win 61% of the time when he refs. And meanwhile, the Magic only win 36% of the time. So the second ref is statistically favoring us at 61% to the 36 for Orlando. Curtis Blair is our friend. James Capers is not. The third referee is Robert Hussey, and he is in his second year as a ref. He's very much a very green ref. He's from Orlando, Florida. Actually, he's from Queens, but he lives in Orlando. His favorite TV show is Chappelle Show. Chappelle Show. Chappelle Show. His favorite movie is John Q, and he also likes the Marvel movies. His favorite musician is J. Cole. Maybe he's a CBL fan of the Shooting Stars of Scarborough. His favorite app is ESPN. He'd most like to visit Iceland, and he'd like to see the seven wonders of the world. His favorite meal is, and this is very specific, he's got the whole meal here. He likes that ackee, that yellow yam, that green banana, dumplings, and fried plantain. We get him down to Rasta Pasta and get some of that stuff. And he's really just been a referee in his young career. He's been a referee at a lot of different levels. He was a referee in high school level. He's been a referee at the college level in Florida. He's been a referee in the G League, and he's been a referee in the WNBA. And he enjoys spending time with his family, working out, and cooking vegan food. So I think he's a vegan. That's interesting. So Robert Hussey is our third referee, and we win 60% of the time when he's out there in his early career. That's really good, honestly. Like, actually, our record with him is 3-2 when he's out there. And then meanwhile, the Magic are 0-4 when Robert Hussey referees. So they've never won a game that Robert Hussey has refed. So there's your ref crew. It's James Capers Jr., Curtis Blair, and Robert Hussey. Now, the two younger refs favor us, and the older ref, the head ref, does not. So we'll have to see how that all works out on the court. The other two really do favor us, but James Capers, fuck him. Mike's saying sweet slim music. That's actually good. I really like that. The sweet slim music. That's actually really, really good, Mike. That is fantastic. I still like, my favorite is the one I came up with, Trebuchet. Trebuchet is just the perfect nickname for Chris in some ways, but sweet slim music, that's pretty damn good. Somebody may need to put that on an Instagram post of his or something. He might see it, and maybe we'll start calling Sweet Slim music. I don't know. Lolita's saying at Mo, can you please let me know when will the All-Star voting start? Merry Christmas to all in advance. December 20th. Yeah, she said that earlier. So there's your ref check. I guess we'll do the real mascot matchup. Let's get right into it. The real mascot matchup. Bam, 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 bam. Last time we saw the Raptor mascot, he's in his room of horribleness. The awful hospital room that he can't get out of. It's not really a hospital room. It's somebody's house, but it looks like a hospital room, but it's also a sauna. And he's being kept captive by Nurse Annette and the Cavalier nurse. And then Harry, the news hawk, is like the third person around there. Well, he realized when they turn the sauna up real hot, sometimes to torture him, he sweats a lot, and he makes a lake of sweat in the bed. And it's actually like they figured out when last time he tried to escape, they really tried to like, okay, we can't let him try and get out again. So they tied him up real tight this time. But the lake of sweat, it actually allow him with his scales and his reptilian body to kind of slip out of the thing. But he's not letting them know. He realizes that this is an advantage. This is something he's learned, that he's gotten better because he knows that he can slip out of the bed because of the lake of sweat. But he doesn't want to take the opportunity to do it right now. He's really waiting for his chance to make a break for it and maybe go on a streak out the door. And that's what he's looking for. It's like he's kind of free, but he's not totally. And he's looking for his chance because the last time he tried, he thought he had a lucky break, but he didn't. And he was caught at the door. This time he really wants to do it right. So he's biding his time. And, a couple days go by. He's actually getting fed still. That's right. They bring him the bowl way. From Subway, bowl way. Go get it. Scottie Barnes telling you go eat it. Get some bowl way. Well, they're bringing him bowl way from Subway, and he's eating it. He's getting his strength back. And they don't even realize that a Raptor's body metabolizes bowl way in a certain way that it makes them have perfect nutrition and even super strength. So he's getting stronger from the bowl way. More surely, more and more. Well, he needs to eat some more bowl way, and then we'll see if he can escape. We'll find out next time on the real mascot matchup if the combination of the lake of sweat and the magic bowl way can help him get out the door and get back out there on a streak, running out the door and out of there. We'll find out next time. Real mascot matchup. There you go. Tom Duke's got the emoticons for the refs. He's got a T for us and for Fred. He's got the tea, and we're by the window, and we're drinking it, and we're just reading the paper. That's us, and then that's for us, yeah. And then for the Raptors, for the referees, he's got there's the lobster. He's a plate. He's got a llama there. Who's eating llama? Did somebody say they wanted llama? What? Why is there a llama there? Oh my gosh. I don't understand that. Okay, somebody's eating llama. Is it Curtis Blair? Did he want llama? He wants lamb curry. So you bought a llama? You don't have a lamb, so you can bring a llama. It's a lamb. I know it. Is that a lamb? That's a llama, dude. If you put it over that emoticon that says llama, I think Curtis Blair will be able to know it's a llama. A llama curry? A llama curry, Tom Duke. Oh man, you're amazing. I love it. Okay, there's a llama curry. All right, I'll take it. And then yeah, I see that you have the good Jamaican food for Robert Hussey also. Good stuff, Tom Duke. Llama curry. I'm gonna go to the restaurant and say, I want llama curry. Llama curry. I'll give you lamb curry, but not llama curry. All right. Mike's saying, Mo, come in clutch, always with the dates on everything. Key contributor here. Salute to Mo. Really thankful you're on top of those things when with me being poor with dates. Yeah, we all have different strengths, Mike. And Monique is one of the best at reminding us and helping us. And she really is kind of like a cue card for me. Like I'll forget half the stuff I want to talk about. And then Monique reminds me. And I really do appreciate that, Mo. You're awesome part of this channel, and we really do appreciate you. All right, llama curry. Yeah, that's pretty good. All right, guys. Let me just do a recap real quick for the channel for today for the preview for Orlando. Tonight, we are still missing Wancho, Otto Porter, and Precious. And also, we'll be missing the 905 guys because they're in Maine. Ron Harper Jr., Justin Champagnie, and Jeff Doughton Jr. will be at the other game. They will not be available for us tonight in Orlando. Meanwhile, the Orlando Magic are missing a pretty good list of guys. Gary Harris, Chuma Akiki, Jalen Suggs, Jonathan Isaac, and Wendell Carter Jr. Are on their listed injury report. And they will have Mo Bamba back tonight. That'll be the difference. The biggest difference between what we saw on Saturday last week and tonight will be Mo Bamba is present. The referees for tonight are James Capers, Curtis Blair, and Robert Hussey. I like the two younger refs. James Capers is not one of my favorite refs right now. And then for 905, they've got J.D. Rouse, Matt Rafferty, and Gerda Gatling. Some keys to the victory tonight, I think, is really what you guys have been saying, is that we need to start right. We need to come out and set the tone. We need to control the game. We need to have the lead for at the end of the first quarter. And we just need to come out and not slouch against a lesser opponent. We need to come out with excellence and playing at the highest ability that we can play, because we need to practice that level, because that's the level we're going to need against teams like Milwaukee and Boston and Cleveland later on the season. So do it, Raptors, the way you need to do it at the level of excellence, and don't play down to their level. Play as well as you can. If they have like 25 turnovers and y'all only have 10, beautiful. I would love that. And, just work well with each other. Sharing is caring. One of the best things we did last Saturday was getting a lot of assists, and just the ball going free flowing between each other really helped us in getting that victory on Saturday. So stuff that we did well last Saturday, sure, let's try and duplicate it, but also be ready for them to adjust. And maybe we have to beat them in a whole different entire way tonight. And then same thing on Sunday is we may get different kinds of games, even though it's the same opponent. 3 games in 10 days, that we may have to play a whole different kind of game than we did last Saturday to win this game tonight. Just go out there and give a good effort. And Pascal, if you want to dominate this game and mess around because things are so easy for you, just do it, please. Let's just make this for sure. That's what we want tonight. No fucking around, no unsurety, no like playing like their level and they're winning all of a sudden. No letting them come up after us if we're leading most of the game. Keep them down and play a solid 48 minutes of great effort on defense, and hopefully no stagnation on offense for any extended period of time. That's what I'd like to see for keys to the victory tonight. Oh, yeah. Let's see what else you guys are saying as I get out of here. Tom Duke is throwing up because of lamb curry. And Paul B is saying, easy win. Van Vliet going for 55. I love it, Paul B. Yes, Paul B. Speak the gospel, Raptor freak, Paul B. Yes, Fred Van Vliet going for 55. Well, that was the place where he did get that kind of score before, was in Orlando against this team. And the settings are conducive for this. Nameless saying, did you hear both Wancho and Otto are on the trade block? Well, you're misinterpreting the article that just came out, Nameless. It's basically they're just saying that all of our guys are eligible to be traded if we want to. Doesn't mean that they're on the trading block. They're just it's just Aaron Rose reporting to us that a trade deadline has come up where the trading period is starting to open, and that will be on the 15th. So it's not even right now. That's all it is. There's no clear, concrete anything. It's just basically they're announcing that this trade period is open, and they're saying it about all the teams in the league. That there's a lot of people that can be eligible to be traded as of December the 15th. Isaac Campbell's got a banana, a car, and a boom, and a speak the truth. I guess I understand that kind of. Isaac, banana car, fist talk. Banana car, fist talk, and unfollow your mom. Yeah. Tom Duke saying Raptor this game tonight, boys. Yes. That's another key to victory. Raptor them. Don't let them Raptor us. Monique is saying the Raptors Detroit promo is already out. Detroit North, February 28th. Good stream as always. Thank you, Monique. Yeah, listen, Nako, when he was here the other night, I forgot. He's the person on the stream that went to Detroit to that last game and took over their building. And I was like, oh, yeah, you were the one that went. And like we were kind of talking about like going to that game, the next one in Detroit, and going down there and taking it over again. Because that'd be fun. I was like, Nako, you went to that game. I want to go, maybe possibly. But yeah, I want to go see a game in Detroit's building where we beat their ass. W stream, winning. Thank you, Tom Duke. Thank you, Mike. If you guys like anything that I said on the stream today, please subscribe. And if you like it, like it. If you want to comment. If you want to share it, share it. I appreciate everyone. Let's get this W tonight, Raptors. No messing around. Strictly business. This is a business trip. Y'all are in Florida for business. Sure, it may be warmer. Sure, it may be fun. But listen, y'all need to take care of business. That's the whole reason why y'all are down there. So don't screw around on a Saturday in Orlando. Maybe you guys have a practice. And that would be great. Get a practice in tomorrow. And, just stick to, Chris says, stay out of the streets. Stay in the hotel, just no funny craziness, no added mess ups or anything crazy and stuff like that. All right, guys, have a great Friday, and let's go Raptors. We got to win tonight. Just win, say win like 100 times. Win. Let's go Raptors!